Good evening. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight on this special talk. I got really excited when I heard this presentation or explanation on the importance of protein in our diet. And some of you know, my name is Nada St. Germain, and I was introduced to NeoLife over 32 years ago. I was tired, I was stressed, I was a police officer in the city, just really struggling with some immune issues, to the point where I was using antihistamines pretty much year round, and I slept with Kleenex on my nose. So that was not a pretty sight. But when someone shared with me how good nutrition can help with my immune system and reduce inflammation, I was more curious for my mom because she was really struggling with a lot of pain. Back then, fibromyalgia was not being diagnosed, but we decided to give the products a try. And 32 years later, the difference in my health in my late 50s and my mom in her late 70s has been incredible. And, we all understand that nutrition and diet and food play a really big role in how we age and how we strengthen our immune systems. But the challenge is sometimes is getting the right nutrients in our diet. So we're going to share with you just a little bit on how to fill those nutritional gaps, but also what's out there on the market. Especially people today are buying these products off the shelf and they don't know or really understand the quality. They don't understand the ingredients. They don't know if it's harmful, if it's good, if it's bad. So anyways, I'm so excited to share this video with you tonight. Then we're going to pause the video. I'll bring up a couple of slides and then we'll open it up to questions. So again, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and I want you to give me a thumbs up if you can hear when I start the recording or start the presentation.
Is it so important? Why is protein so important to us? How much do we need? What are some of the challenges getting it all in each day? And some things you might want to consider when it comes to supplement safety. Without poisoning yourself, you need to consider a few things. Otherwise, you could be poisoning yourselves with heavy metal toxins, BPAs, and even damaging your own kidneys. In fact, there's a lot of inferior supplements out there that are overly refined, and as a result, you have athletes that are on dialysis, and even some of them are waiting for kidney transplant because their kidney ducts have been impacted by overly refined protein supplementation. I'll be talking about that at the end. At the end, I'll be sharing with you a pure, potent, and effective whole food-based nutrition solution to increase your protein intake, based in nature and backed by science and real scientists, that's been tested in human research studies. It's complete with all 22 amino acids and has better than a perfect PDCAAS score, which is a protein digestibility score. And you can trust it with your whole body as well as your kidneys. That's super important, right? So why is protein important? It's important to remember that proteins are the main building block of all of our entire body. And we need to consume them in large amounts because unlike fats and carbohydrates, our body cannot store protein. So protein in particular is the amino acids that are inside of protein that we need so desperately are needed to build and repair tissue, bones, muscles, cartilage, and skin, and blood. They are also needed in the right amounts to support enzyme production, immune function, and hormones. So with that, I want to make a couple points. I learned from a scientist that if we ingest a nutrient that we don't have the proper amino acids and therefore the proper enzymes to address and digest, our body will receive it as an allergen and it will respond, with the red fleshy eyes and all these different things. And if we want to avoid having allergic response to nutrients we might be consuming, we need to make sure we do our level best to have 22 amino acids in our body so we have all the enzymes we need to address that nutrient so we don't receive it as an allergen. Secondly, hormone production. Our body needs all 22 amino acids in our bloodstream so that our body can make those vital hormones that make us feel alive and energized, right? Like adrenaline, for women, estrogen and testosterone, and the happy hormone, serotonin, right? If we don't have the 22 amino acids in our body, the right amounts of protein in our body can't properly make those hormones that we need for our wellness. Thirdly, immune function. We need 22 amino acids in our bodies every day for our immune function to function optimally. Okay. I heard an analogy because our amino acids actually make antibodies in our body, which our immune function needs to function at its best. I heard a scientist, he's a PhD in nutrition, give a story one day about the importance of amino acids and immune function. And he said that if you have all 22 amino acids in your body in a day and you encounter a pathogen, a virus, a cold, someone sneezes on you, you eat something you shouldn't, you touch something that's got germs on it and you get a cold or a virus, he said if you've got all 22 amino acids in your body, that within 3 minutes your body will go and it will know within 3 minutes how that pathogen, what it's made from, how it functions, what it needs to eat, how it grows, duplicates itself and replicates, and it will know how to address it by taking that information to our bone marrow, and within 30 minutes our body will have the recipe to defend its health, right, and fight for our wellness. Now that's super amazing, right, to think that it could have the T cells at the ready within 30 minutes if we have what we need as far as 22 amino acids in a day. Now, another thing that is important to people is in our 40s and 50s, our muscles begin to atrophy. So they're not as strong and healthy as they once were. And so what I heard recently from a friend, I thought it was a great analogy, is that protein is like plastic wrap, around your muscles. It keeps them nice and tight and strong and vibrantly beautiful, right? We all want that. We want to have healthy, strong muscles that maintain as we age. So the next question I wanted to address is how much protein do we need in a day, right? The USDA actually recommends that we take in 0.35 grams of protein for every pound of weight. Now, I've got a friend who's a nutritionist, and he was telling me earlier today that we really want to have 0.35, let's say, grams of protein for the lean body mass that we have. So if we're overweight, we're not going to account for all of our weight. Otherwise, you might end up taking on way too much protein than we actually need for our health. And so I thought that was really important to think about that. So in my case, for example, I need about a little over 1/3 in grams, right, of protein in my diet every day. So that's a good way to think about it. A little over 1/3 of the healthy lean mass pounds that you have. However, more is recommended for people that are like growing teens, nursing mothers, growing children, right? Mainly it's the teens and the mothers, and athletic people are those that are trying to lose weight. For the latter, studies actually show that 0.5 grams of protein is really great per pound of body mass. It helps to suppress hunger. And in addition to suppressing hunger, they found that it actually increases satiety, which is helping them curb cravings and helps burn fat, thus promoting the weight loss. The best sources of proteins, most of us know, but it's nice to be reminded. In fact, in my story last night, I made an effort to increase my protein intake and gave you guys a picture of it so that you could kind of see, what that might look like, right? So the best sources of proteins that we're familiar with are common, like meats and eggs, dairy products, legumes, and nuts. In addition, something you might not be familiar with is quinoa. Quinoa is an absolutely amazing amino acid rich source of protein. Protein source. And some of the challenges that we face when we're trying to get all our amino acids in every day is that commercial manufacturing and processing of meats often has our meats loaded with things like hormones or antibiotics, right? You want to plump up the animals faster to have larger cuts of meat and have more profitability. Also, they have antibiotics because the animals, when they're living close together, right, they spread germs in that close, constant contact. So they're loaded with antibiotics all the time. And a lot of time also they're fed GMO feed, which might be something that we prefer to avoid. And so these are all things that concern people that are trying to make sure they get in the right amount of proteins every day. In addition to that, there is cholesterol that's a concern with some of the darker meats and things like that. So people might be choosing things like turkey and chicken and other solutions like that, but there's still the various concerns with the hormones and the antibiotics. In addition to that, there's people that are more like a plant-based nature that are pursuing proteins from their plants. Now, that's a wonderful way to go as well, but something we need to think about, it's part of our concerns, is that there's a lot of pesticides, right, on the plants. And a lot of times, even though they're labeled as organic, sometimes there's still a toxicity there because there's pesticides in the soil, there's toxins in the air and the water, and the crop might be next to a freeway, so it's got all kinds of different chemical components in it that in concentrated forms, eating lots of that for protein could be a bit of a concern. So you'll want to make sure, if you're looking for plant-based sources of protein, to look at the EWG.org's Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen. That's been really helpful for us over the years to discern, which plants to buy, which vegetables to buy organic or non-organic and things like that over the years. In addition to that, people that are looking for proteins in their fish, you want to really go ahead and look for wild caught fish, okay, or young fish, fish with a short lifespan, because then it means it's been exposed to less toxins in the environment. So that's a really great way to go. And also, if you're looking for the extra omegas, right, omega fish oils, you can look at last week's video when I talked about the importance of that to address inflammation in the body, and how with one a day of that omega-3 solution I mentioned last week, at the end of the month, you would have had 10 3-ounce servings of wild-caught silver coho salmon. That's a great way to go to supplement your efforts. The reality is finding the best dietary proteins can become confusing, right? And at times it can be very expensive. So oftentimes people look at supplementing their protein intake so that they can make sure, right, they get that extra dose, that extra support their body needs, especially like I mentioned a moment ago, as we enter our 40s and 50s, our muscle mass starts to decline. And so we want that extra protein so that it acts like a cellophane around our muscles, keeping them nice and tight and healthy, right? Well, the thing is that when we supplement, we've got to be so careful because the supplement industry is largely unregulated. There literally is like no checks and balances, and that poses a problem for us in a big way. In fact, some proteins can be unhealthy for you, can even cause problems like hair loss. This is not a joke. 10 years ago, I was taking a protein. I can't even say the name of the company because you got to be really PC, but it starts with a V. There's lots of proteins, right? Anyways, it starts with a V. And I was taking it to actually increase my hair health, right? And it started making it fall out. Started going online and doing some research. Does this cause hair to fall out? And I found there was litigation against the company for the past couple of years for this very issue. And so you want to be careful you're not taking a supplement or a protein that's actually going to harm you. And so I stopped taking that, thank goodness. But that actually angered me really bad. And this is after 17 years I was taking a whole food supplement and a protein, and I saw my skin was aging and I was gaining weight around the middle and my hair was thinning. That was 10 years ago, right? I started on that solution and it was no solution at all. So I actually became pretty jaded. I was skeptical and of supplements, and I just thought it's all a bunch of crap and there's all a bunch of false claims and everyone's just saying all they say on their labels so they can make money, and they're trying to make money on a fad or a trend or, a word or an ingredient, right? And then I discovered years later that sometimes the ingredients on the bottle aren't even in the product. Isn't that crazy? So 3 concerns I want to share with you in particular about protein supplementation is that blew my mind, is that it may have something, and these things may have something to do with why American proteins, 90% of them, are illegal in other countries. It's actually pretty disgusting, I'll just tell you right now. So that's why I'm overjoyed to share with you our solutions at the end of this presentation, because our standards meet and exceed every government regulatory body in the world. We do business in 56 countries offering this solution I'm telling you about tonight to meet that gap in our diets that some of us may have. So the first issue is contamination, okay? That's a problem in these proteins in the open market. Contamination is huge, okay? Clean Label Project actually did a analysis of 134 of the best proteins, I should say the most popular proteins in our country. And of those 134 proteins they tested, okay, they discovered that 70% of them found cadmium and lead in them at measurable amounts that in most cases are not okay. Okay. They also found that more than acceptable limits of BPA, which is actually an endocrine disruptor, right? We don't want that kind of stuff in our bodies. And so what's amazing is they discovered in this article as well, and I have it here if anyone wants it, I'm happy to send it out to you, that plant-based proteins at powders actually tested the worst. And in fact, there's one that's even been on my mother-in-law's shelf. God bless her. She's not on Facebook, but Garden of Life, my friends, tested the most toxic out of 134 of the best US proteins, the most common. This is based on Nielsen's, what people are buying, right? And so that's quite scary. I'm going to give you an example. I had an acquaintance about, I guess it'd be 2016, that was in some networking company, and they had a very, like, bodybuilding type, vibe and selling proteins. And she was telling me about this protein. I said, my husband is taking one. It's got all 22 amino acids. I'm talking about that tonight at the end. It's very clean. It's non-GMO. It's beyond organic. There's no synthetics or toxins in it. It's highly absorbable. It's more absorbable than an egg. It's good stuff. I said, what's yours like? So she sent me some information. I did a little homework on it. And I found out that her protein has a lead warning on it. I don't know about you guys, but no, I'm not going to give my kids or myself every day something that has a lead warning on the label, right? And so she reached out to me a couple days later. I said, I'm concerned about your protein. And I said, it's got a lead warning label on it. And she says, I said, that's very concerning, And she says to me, oh, it's not no problem. It doesn't bother me at all. And I said, how does that not bother you at all? And then she says, well, it's got only enough lead. It's got about as much lead as the average broccoli at the store. And then she says, nothing but the best for my family. And I literally was dumbfounded. I'm like, that is beyond brand loyalty. That is borderline. I don't know what you want to call it. Anyways, I was very shocked. So contamination issues is one major problem in the proteins we find at the stores, okay? The second thing, the supplements, right? The second thing is ingredients. If a company self-labels, they only have to tell you 30% of their ingredients. If they use a third-party label like USDA, organic, or good GMP standards, third-party labeling for quality, right? They have to show you 80% of their ingredients. So there's still 20% unknown to you as a consumer. That's so scary, right? And then I learned that there's this pharmaceutical labeling, right? And with a pharmaceutical label, you have to show 100% of your ingredients, nothing more, nothing less. And as far as drugs go, that's to prevent contraindication, right? Okay, well, this company whose products we trust with our health right now since 2016 myself, I just got to share it because of what it's done for our lives. And like I said in the beginning, those we care about that have had ears to listen, they have to show 100% of the ingredients. So you're going to get exactly what's on that label, nothing less, nothing more. That's very reassuring as a consumer. So as far as ingredients go, 90% of the raw materials of supplements in our country are from China, okay? They are a lot of 90% of the products on the shelves there, 98% have GMO ingredients in them. They say natural, but they have GMO ingredients in them, right? Only 2% have whole food nutrients in them on the store shelves, the supplements and things. And those are isolates. Well, isolated nutrients solve isolated problems, okay? It's better to have things in families. And only 1% of supplement manufacturers in the world use only whole food, human food chain ingredients. And that's what I'm sharing with you tonight. It's part of that family, that 1%. And so ingredients are a major issue, right? And so I want to let you know that many supplement manufacturers will use, basically it's called pond slime. It's a pond slime, okay? If you've ever seen a pond, it's kind of latent or sedentary, not a whole lot going on, and it has slime on it, okay? Nothing in the animal kingdom eats that. Nothing. No crawdads eat it, no raccoons eat it, nothing eats it. So our government actually pays supplement manufacturers to use this stuff in supplements. And they use it and they label it as antioxidants, okay? And they use it as fillers in your proteins that make your hair fall out. I don't know if they do that, okay? But I'm just telling you that's what happened to me with the one I was using 10 years ago. And that's just not so great. So you can watch my videos from the last 2 weeks. I talked about the supplement labeling issues. The third issue is refining. There's actually a problem because some supplement manufacturers are so concerned about trying to get on the label about how absorbable it is that they actually over refine their products. And what's happening is there are athletes, you guys, there are bodybuilders who, because they were taking extra protein, right, in the form of supplementation of these powders from these stores that sell vitamins, okay, I'm not joking, these companies are being sued because their kidney ducts backed up with proteins, and their ability of the kidneys to function properly and clean our blood was declining. And in fact, some of them, their kidneys are dead and they're waiting for transplants. You ever see those dialysis clinics showing up everywhere? It's crazy. What's amazing is I have a dear friend. She was a nurse, a registered nurse, and a director of nursing, actually. She'd become very sick and overweight over the years, and she was facing dialysis. And she was on 18 medications and struggling with her weight and MS and diabetes and cholesterol issues and triglycerides and you name it, on all kinds of medications. She got on our 22 amino acid solution and the foundational nutrients I talked about last week, and within 7 weeks, as a nurse, was off all medications. So it's amazing what the body can do, right? When you give it more of what it needs and less of what it doesn't. I'm so blessed and excited that I actually make a living helping people discern what those things are. And my colleagues have training in that area, which is so exciting. So the refining issues, the ingredient issues, the toxicity issues of store-bought proteins are very, very concerning. So what I'm going to share with you today, real quickly wrapping up, is our solution that we have, again, from a 60-plus-year-old nutritional research company whose chief formulator, this really blew my mind, was the inventor of oral chemotherapy. In fact, gosh, I don't know enough time. I'm going over time as it is. Anyways, he partnered with our company back in '76 because our mission aligned with his when he left invasive treatments, therapies. He saw that our mission was to end the trend of chronic disease using whole food nutrients as our weapon of choice. And he decided to partner with the company pursuing that goal and that mission, put a team of scientists together from around the world, okay, of biochemists and food scientists and nutritionists and herbalists, in fact. And they just kind of joined together on this mission. And what blows my mind is it was the first board of food scientists and a supplement manufacturer company's history. And I like to remind people, this isn't about vitamins. This is about whole food concentrated nutrient extracts that fill the gaps in our diets, that are non-GMO, beyond organic, no synthetics, no toxins, and the company follows European purity standards. Now, this board of scientists, and the ones that preceded him, in fact, actually invented the technology that allows protein to mix with water in the first place. So if you're going to be taking a protein, why not take one from a straight up solid company who has your health as its goal and that actually knows how to make this stuff work from day one? I love that. And what's really great is, like I mentioned a moment ago, the company maintains a pharmaceutical drug license. So they don't make drugs, right? But they maintain this drug license so that you know as a consumer, what we say is in there is in there. It's going to do your body good. And there's health studies to prove that it gets in the blood and it serves you and doesn't harm you. To me, that's super exciting. So get your pens out right now, because you're going to want to write down these criteria or the standards and quality that I'm about to share with you that we have, because you're going to want to call whatever product you have in your shelf right now that you're giving your kids before they go to school or go out to their sports, believing it's good for them. You're going to want to call those companies and make sure that it actually is. So get your pens out, and let me make that disclaimer right now. What I'm about to share with you is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. You see, it's the body. I can say this. It is the body that's the healer. If you give your body more of what it needs and less of what it doesn't, it's amazing what it can do for you to improve your quality of life. I am proof of that, and my clients whose lives I have had the pleasure of changing are proof of that, and that's why I share. So, that being said, my goal is to simply educate and empower others to know the difference between the things that empower their bodies and the things that don't, so they can make more informed decisions. Okay, so got your pens out? Okay, I wish you guys all raise your hands. Thanks for being on here, those that are watching. You want to look for a product that has all 22 amino acids, okay? You don't have to look any farther because we're the only one in the world. So, but that's a point you want to keep in your hat. 2 scoops is a full meal replacement, and it amounts to 18 grams of absorbable protein. So you want to find out, what is your company's absorbable protein in there, and have they had human research studies to make sure it actually gets in the blood and serves you? Ask that. The 25 essential vitamins and minerals are present in what I have, and it's from whole foods. It's not from rocks and metals and petroleum and pond slime, like so many other companies have in their products, because they're concerned with profits, right? And not necessarily optimal health. Little improvements will make you stay on for long enough, and that makes them good profit. 5 grams of fiber in all fiber families. Make sure they've got fiber in there, right? To clean and sweep up sugars and things that you don't want flowing in your blood anyways. It's got a multi-enzyme blend of 2,000 live active plant enzymes for digestion. I talked about that a moment ago, about how important enzymes are anyways. There's no genetically modified or artificial anything, my friends. And it poses no problem for those who are diabetic, right? Or who are looking for weight loss. It actually is glycemic controlled, so it's not going to spike your blood sugars and cause any problems there. In fact, I have some beautiful testimonies. If any of you are struggling with diabetes issues, I gotta say, irregular blood issues, okay, let me know, because I can send you some resource people who've had wonderful results helping their body, right, empowering their body, right, to improve that situation. There's ProtoGuard process, which means the protein's actually pre-digested for optimal nutrient absorption, super important to protect the kidneys, right, and promote easier digestion and assimilation. It has a high PDCAAS score. I told you guys that in the beginning. What is that, right? It's the protein digestibility score. A perfect score is a 1.0. So fully it's protein digestibility corrected amino acid score, okay? So 1.0 is a perfect absorption, like an egg, right? Ours has a 1.76, as high as a 1.76 absorption. That's pretty exciting. It's almost like 2 eggs, right? As far as the ability to get in that blood cell like that. Almost like 200% better than an egg. All right, it's only 140 calories for those of you that are watching your calories, and it mixes easily with water. Again, our company invented the technology that allows it to mix with water in the first place. Super cool, right? And it's 90% lactose free. For those who are avoiding lactose and different things, you can also look at our vegan option, all right, which is made with hemp, peas, fava beans, brown rice, and chickpea, and also MCT oil and more good things. So I want to remind you guys something, because I did talk about this article where plant-based protein tested the worst and organic proteins actually tested with the highest heavy metals. The raw materials in our products are beyond organic standards. They're organically certified, okay? And so organic certifiers oftentimes only have, like, let's say, for example, I'm not giving you exact numbers, okay? Let's say they're only testing for 38 things, 38 toxins on the plants, okay? Well, what we test for is not just what's on the plants or what it would be sprayed on the plants. We test also for the air, the water, the soil, and the location that it's grown in, right? To make sure that the raw materials are super, super duper clean. So my friends, it is beyond organic with European purity standards that we stand by. So I want to let you know, if you're curious and you want to know more about concentrated whole food cellular nutrition, how this can make a positive impact in your bodies, how this protein, amino acids, we call it 22 amino acid drink, not just protein, really call it what it is, 22 amino acids, can positively impact your health, then reach out to me. Ask me questions. I'm happy to source my business partners and holistic nutritionists I work with and certified nutritional consultants and find out what's best recommended for you and your needs. But I will tell you this, of all my customers that I've ever had a chance of working with over the years, I have seen one consistent thing. People that come with various concerns, various things going on in their bodies, oftentimes when they give their body the foundational nutrition available, which this complements, okay? Go back in my videos the past Tuesdays and the past 3 weeks, right? When you take the TreaN grain oil and you help your cell function optimally, you take that cell membrane from being like a crumbled cranberry, right? That's not getting nutrients in and not getting waste out. And you heal the cell membrane with these grain oils our cells are made of with the TreaN. And you're able to uptake 50% more nutrients from your food and expel 50% more waste from your food. And then you add in the carotenoid complex, which has got all the families of carotenoids in it. All 16 families of carotenoids are in it. And at the end of the month, it's 80 pounds of carotenoid vegetables. You get those in the cell, right? Then you get omega-3 salmon oil in the cell because the cell's well, and you get that in. And at 3 a day, that reduces inflammation 68% in 8 weeks. And the carotenoids boost your immune function 3 a day, 37.6% in 8 weeks. And they reduce the cholesterol from plaquing onto your arteries 499%, okay? And they slow cellular aging, the aging of your cell, right? The onslaught of antioxidation, right? We got to fight it off, right? 44%, okay? You increase your T cell production 20% with those things I just mentioned, okay? Then you add into that a double chelated mineral, which I'm going to talk about next week. And you add into that the protein, right? you end up having in your body 56 of 59 nutrient families found in nature's blueprint. I'm telling you, my friends, if you go back to pictures of me from 2014 and 15, and you compare the same face that you see right now to the face that you saw then, you'd see an older woman then, okay? So what happens is when you give your body all this nutrition over a period of 90 days, you have new blood throughout your whole body. And at the end of 7 years, which I'm up on 7 years this year, right? I'm gonna be 47 next month. You have a new body. It's so exciting. So which direction do you want to go in? Upwards and onwards in a healthy way, right? Or continue this downward spiral? The reason why I'm sharing it really is summed up by this, guys. There was a study done on 22,000 Americans, 22,000 people, and they were testing to find out how many of them were getting the most vital vitamins and minerals each day, just the 10, okay? They found out that not even one was getting them. And so this is why when I learned this information and realized, hold up, you mean I could get 56 of 59 nutrient families found in nature's blueprint every single day by this foundational nutrition you're talking about? Sign me up. I was feeling sick. I had age spots on my face. I was gaining weight around my middle. I was having mind fog and mood swings and short temper and fatigue, just like my husband was having. And it began to change my life. So if you see yourself wanting to recognize the benefits in your own life that I've just shared with you tonight, I want to invite you to go ahead and reach out to me if you've got questions, or you can go ahead and click the link in my bio. It's directly to my website, and just click on Health Solutions and consider the foundation, the Pro Vitality, consider the protein, 22 amino acid drink together with in the breakfast solution. That's the best thing. My clients on the breakfast solution.
And we're going to be focusing on that, but I have to say that she has opened up and answered all of my questions, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted you to know that she is not part of our team at all and has been just a wealth of information, and just so grateful that that she was, there to answer any of my questions. And I found this so informative, especially because so many people are buying and purchasing some of these protein powders on the market. And Maryellen and I are just going to go through a very quick little overview so to give you a better understanding on the different proteins that are out there that NeoLife has to offer. But this is the consumer's report that she was referring to. And, whether it be for muscle building, weight loss, new study shows that many of the top selling powders and drinks may contain concerning levels of heavy metals and arsenic and cadmium that she was talking about, especially BPA. So this is kind of scary. And these substances have been linked to cancer, brain damage, and reproductive issues. And again, the new study from the Clean Label Project is what she was referring to. It's a nonprofit organization that examines labeling safety issues. And again, this was from 134 products that were tested and contained detectable levels of at least one heavy metal, and 55% tested positive for BPA. So that's kind of scary. So these toxins accumulate in your body and can stay in there for years. And that's why you do not want to be consuming or even giving these kinds of products to your kids. And even back in 2010, they found that cadmium, lead, and or mercury in samples of all 15 powders that they tested. So this is still going on. This is the little paper that she pulled up. This is somebody actually took a picture of it and sent it to me. So out of 134 products they tested, so she mentioned 70% had lead, 74% had cadmium, and 55% had the BPA. So that's kind of scary. And that was back in 2018. So when you're looking at the science and what to look for, I would love to welcome Maryellen Vandenbrink, our holistic nutritionist on our team, that's just going to kind of give you a better idea. I know Maryellen, she talked about the scientists, and maybe you can share a little bit about your expertise on our scientific advisory board.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nada, because this is something that really impressed me when I first was introduced to NeoLife. And even once I took my holistic nutrition course and I saw what other companies had, I realized that this was so unique. And there's, like she talked about the criteria of supplements, like knowing what they're made from. And the reason that our clients get such good results is because of the science behind our products. And when you look at the board founded by Dr. First, she talked about him as being the founding member of oral chemotherapy. But when he did his research in food, he found nutrients in food prevent disease. And that's the only reason he joined up with NeoLife, because they were the only whole food supplement company. Because like she said, there's so much stuff out there that's natural, but anything from the ground is natural. It doesn't mean it's food. And with food, you get different intrinsic factors that work in the body. And he also set up our prestigious scientific advisory board. You can see all these scientists, they're doctors, researchers, and they're not just good looking doctors who endorse the products, they're involved in the research and development. And since we're focusing so much on protein tonight, we want to highlight Dr. Liz Applegate, because she's a renowned expert on nutrition and fitness. And she's actually head of the Department of Nutrition at UC Davis. So you think, for her to stand behind a supplement, her whole reputation is on the line, right? So the fact, and when you read, like she publishes in Runner's World, and when she was introduced to NeoLife, she said, I have been approached by so many companies and nobody has the science that NeoLife has. And that's the only reason that she joined up, and she's such a great asset helping educate us on the importance of all the nutrients and why NeoLife is so different.
Absolutely. And Maryellen, I do apologize. Dr. Todd Miller is new to our scientific advisory board, and that's an old slide. And he's also an expert in women and weight loss and hormones. And I had an amazing chat with him when we were in Nashville, and he talked about the importance of protein and good quality proteins. And he said he was blown away that he'd never heard of NeoLife. So it's been amazing. And the protein adding to this program, the Pro Vitality, is called a breakfast solution that we're going to be focusing on this evening. So Maryellen, maybe you could talk about the challenges with protein in breakfast and what's going on.
And I know how many of us, when we were growing up, what do we have for breakfast? We'd have cereal and toast or bagels, and that was kind of our breakfast. But when you look at how important protein is first thing in the morning, because it gets our metabolism revved up, gets us into the fat burning zone. And if you need to lose weight, it helps you lose weight or maintain weight if you don't. But what the key is, it keeps the blood sugar in that glycemic zone. So that's to prevent, the highs and lows, because, when you have that, cereal or even oatmeal or whatever, a couple hours later, you bottom right out, you're exhausted. So that's when your blood sugar is dropped, and then you have something else and you're on this roller coaster all day. And by doing that, it just zaps your energy, and it also causes you to store body fat. So protein definitely gives you energy, and it has so many functions, because the 22 amino acids that Josie was talking about, like she mentioned, you need it for enzymes, because if you can't digest things, you're not absorbing anything out of your body. You need it for antibodies, especially right now, to fight infection, viruses, diseases. We need those T cells. And hormones, so important, because you think an amino acid hooks up with the grain oil and the threonine, and that's what causes good, healthy hormones to help prevent PMS and, menopausals. So many people think it's, oh, you're just lucky that you didn't have hot flashes and issues. No, it's because my body is the right balance, and that's why I didn't have those issues. And everyone's so concerned right now about collagen in our skin, but if you have all 22 amino acids, your body is going to make all the collagen that it needs. And again, to help control blood sugar levels. And as Josie mentioned about that PD-CAS score, what that basically means is that's how your body can absorb it, because you can swallow all the protein you want, but if you don't digest it and it doesn't get absorbed, that's what causes that kidney damage that she was talking about. So this shake is 1.73, so you know it's absorbed. And there's a lot of negative talk about soy and breast cancer, and there's a bit of controversy about it. Well, NeoLife doesn't use those concentrated isoflavonones, the portion of the soy that contains that phytoestrogen compounds, in any of their products. So they're totally safe. And even when you look at what soy does, this was from Dr. William Lee, who wrote the book, Eat to Beat Disease. And what he shows is that soy actually causes that, what he refers to as angiogenesis, where your body's actually forming cancer cells, it actually shuts it down. And when you look at phytoestrogen, which is from soy, and a human estrogen, There's the biochemical thing. They don't even look the same. They're not the same animal at all. They just have the same name, but not the same breakdown. And here's some studies to back up what we're saying. This is soy food intake and breast cancer survival. And they're actually found that it actually reduces breast cancer and causes you to survive longer. In fact, soy intake in 5,042 breast cancer survivors in Shanghai found there was a 29% reduction of death and 32% reduction of reoccurrence of breast cancer. So as you can see, it's very, very safe. And even MD Anderson has done a complete about face and said that soy may benefit breast cancer survivors. So that the research is definitely out there. There's no, and again, American Cancer Society says there's no evidence in the medical literature that soy protein isolate is bad for humans compared to other forms of soy. And how they knew this was because when you look at Asia, they eat so much soy and they have one of the lowest breast cancer rates. And of course, what are the most common genetically modified foods? Even salmon now, tomatoes, papaya, cantaloupe. There's so many different foods in North America. And as you know, this is all banned in Europe. It's not allowed at all there. And that's why so many people, they say, oh, I go home, you know, feel so great. And I come back here and start eating the food and I feel horrible, right? Because of this genetically modified. And you can be 100% assured that NeoLife has no GMOs in any of their products. In fact, they track the products right from the seed stock. They know where the product was grown, you know, when it was harvested. So it's all has identity preserved things. So they check it for that transgenic DNA to make sure there's no GMO at all, because that's where it makes the soy bad, when it's GMO soy, right? And what's inside our shake, as she mentioned, everything natural, 22 amino acids, 18 grams of protein, fiber, essential vitamins and minerals, everything you need for good health, and your children too, and whole food antioxidants. But what's great is there's no artificial anything. And that's a picture of my granddaughters. That's when they were little. And as soon as they could drink out of that sippy cup, they drink that shake, and they have it every morning. They grew up on it, and it's super safe for kids, for adults, for every, you know, even for seniors, because instead of those terrible drinks that they give them in the insurance stuff, this is so safe and natural and much healthier. And when you look at sugar, is it affecting our health? Absolutely. Too much sugar is definitely dangerous. But the amount of fructose, which is not the high fructose concentrate, this is actually from fruit, in the NeoLife shake is equivalent to about half a small apple or a piece of watermelon. So, you know, you think about it, that is not a lot of sugar. And plus the fiber in it slows down the sugar release anyways. So it's actually, we have had many people with high blood sugar, once they get on the shake, their blood sugar regulates completely, even type 1 diabetics. And a lot of people are looking for the, you know, the magic collagen source that's out there, right? But when you look at what collagen is actually sourced from, number one, it doesn't have all 22 amino acids. In fact, it doesn't even have all the 9 essential amino acids. It's made from the skins and connective tissues of animals. It's nutritionally incomplete, missing one of the essential amino acids. It's imbalanced from human nutrition, and it's a weak source of the branched chain amino acids. So it's a really poor supplement. And just because you swallow collagen, the body doesn't know that to run to the skin and produce collagen. The body makes collagen from the amino acids. So that's why complete is so important. And here's a little bit of a comparison of the NeoLife shake versus collagen. And as you can see, it's missing that tryptophan and many other things as well. So there's no glutamine, no cysteine. It's just not the same at all. So Nana, do you want to share about how important protein is after you work out? Because I know that's one of your favorites.
It is. So yeah, so I've been drinking the NeoLife shake every day for 32 years, and it's been my morning, and my kids too, Maryellen. You know, my boys are now 23 and 25, and they still have that shake every single morning. And I'm so grateful that they do it all on their own now, because when they're little, you can give it to them, but then they have to start making their own decisions. And I'm so grateful that they've noticed a difference. And it's important that immediately after you finish a high intensity and or endurance activity, within 30 minutes, you should consume something made with a mix of protein and carbs, like a whey protein shake. And this will help to reduce muscle soreness and aid in your muscle recovery. And I found also immunity that is something that I've noticed a huge difference by introducing this performance protein. So this is another option. And there was an article in the Canadian Running Magazine stated that most recovery shakes are made with whey protein and chocolate milk, which is what a lot of your trainers are recommending. I remember when my kids were playing basketball and football, that's what the coaches were recommending. And I was like, whoa, chocolate milk contains less of the amino acid leucine than whey does. And leucine stimulates protein synthesis to help with repairing muscles. So, and again, also the primary carbohydrate of chocolate milk is lactose, which is absorbed slowly. And this is not optimal for replenishing muscles quickly. So a good quality protein after a workout is really, really critical. And this performance protein, our athletes love it. A lot of professional athletes are using this. It's 26 grams of protein when you mix it with a non-fat milk, and it has the BCAAs, the leucine. It tastes great, very easy to digest, and it works, because it has all 22 amino acids, again, just like Josie was saying, how having that complete protein is critical, and digestion promoting enzyme blend, and no artificial anything. And the same ProtoGuard process, the same blood sugar control, same good control glycemic response as the NeoLife shake. So the two options, you have the NeoLife shake and you have the performance protein as well, which is great for regulating blood sugar, and no potential dangerous stimulants. So no artificial anything, no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives, and guaranteed to be free of any substance currently banned by the National Collegiate Athlete Association and International Olympic Committee and World Anti-Doping Agency. This is really important, especially when you're dealing with professional athletes, because they get tested quite regularly. So again, no GMO ingredients. So we've got the NeoLife shake. We've got the NeoLife Sport protein. You don't want soy, you don't want dairy, you have allergies to maybe some of these things. So we do have a third option, which I absolutely love. And you don't have to be vegan to have a plant-based diet, okay? So US News and World Report, all three top recommended diets are for omnivores, focus on plants and reduce meat consumption. So there's the Mediterranean diet, there's a flexitarian diet, there's the DASH diet. So this protein shake, the vegan shake, just complements what we're doing. It is, again, it tastes great. A lot of vegan products are not the greatest tasting. It is the only biologically complete plant-based protein on the market, which is really important. 21 amino acids, over 3 grams of those branched chain amino acids. It has that healthy fat blend that Josie was talking about, 0 grams of sugar, and again, those enzymes to help with digestion and vitamins and minerals. And so it is a meal replacement as well, and no GMO ingredients, so free of any GMOs. So again, it has those 9 essential amino acids. So again, biologically complete. And it's got the peas, the brown rice, the hemp, the fava, and the chickpeas. And I have to say, compared to other proteins, vegan products, this tastes really good. So again, when you're looking at the science, heritage of science excellence, and all the NeoLife products are based in nature and backed by science, and they're safe for everybody, from little guys all the way up until we're elderly. So this is really, really important. And Josie talked about that nutritional foundation with the grain oils, the carotenoids, the salmon oil, the multivitamin. Well, this is that little gap that she talked about that complements that protein drink, just to give you that breakfast solution. And we're just going to watch a very quick video to give you an overview on what this product is about.
Taken the guesswork out of supplementation and design our health packs for every body and every budget. The Vitality Pack contains a 30-day supply of Pro Vitality, NeoLife's flagship product that is clinically proven and offers a foundation for good nutrition at the cellular level to promote lifelong health and vitality. The 4 supplements found in each convenient packet deliver whole food nutrients and essential vitamins and minerals that are based in nature and backed by science. Tree NN provides phytolipids and phytosterols from whole grains and was proven in a study conducted at Texas A&M University to increase nutrient utilization efficiency by up to 50%. Carotenoid complex provides a broad spectrum of colorful fruits and vegetables that was proven by USDA researchers to boost immune capacity by 37% in just 20 days. Salmon Oil Plus provides omega-3s from fish and was clinically proven to lower inflammatory index by 68%. Finally, our Essential Vitamin and Mineral Complex provides a full spectrum of essential vitamins and minerals, plus phytoenzymes for easy digestion. These 4 supplements are key for the cellular health of every human body. Each box of Pro Vitality contains the essential phytolipids and phytosterols, equivalent to over 12 pounds of whole grains, with less gluten than a bowl of gluten-free cereal. The carotenoid equivalent of 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables, and 10 3-ounce servings of pure omega-3 rich fish, and a full spectrum of essential vitamins and minerals. Now that's some power-packed goodness. These powerful nutrients support head-to-toe benefits including abundant energy, powerful antioxidant protection, heart health, optimum immune strength, healthy brain function, flexible healthy joints, clear vision, youthful skin, hair, and nails, and even supports your body's natural ability to fight the biological aging process. All NeoLife products are designed and backed by a scientific advisory board of world-renowned scientists, doctors, and nutrition experts, and undergo rigorous testing to ensure safety, efficacy, and the superior quality we've been delivering for over 60 years. You and your loved ones can also have the peace of mind knowing NeoLife products use only GMO-free ingredients. All of our health packs feature Pro Vitality as the foundation for good nutrition and health at the cellular level.
So there we have it, Pro Vitality added to that protein shake, and you've got amazing foundation. So this breakfast solution is just a great place to start. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I get a hold of these amazing products? Well, we have a wellness club, the NeoLife Club. It's free to join. As soon as you join, you get a 15% discount. You can get wholesale price when you go on NeoShip, and that's a month supply, which is awesome. That Vitality is a month supply, the breakfast solution is a month supply, and the company even gives you all your shipping back after 6 months. And we have a referral program where you can get your products for free, and we have fitness challenges and weight loss challenges if you'd like to be a part of a group just to help you be more accountable. And these are the health solutions that are most popular. So you've got your Vitality pack, you've got your breakfast solution where you're doing your 1 protein shake a day. And then for those of you that have a little more weight to lose and you want something a little more substantial when you're looking at weight loss, our weight loss solution is called the Shape Up pack. And it's just you're replacing 2 meals and you're still continuing with that Vitality pack. And we have the vegan option for those of you that want something more plant-based. So again, that's also another option for the breakfast solution. And when you refer 3, you get yours free every single month. So just a great way to share and to get your products for free. We do have an amazing Facebook group called NeoLife Healthy Living Community. We have over 10,000 members now. And the stories that are shared in this group are just incredible. So we can invite you to this group, and you can learn a little bit more and hear some more stories, how the products have impacted so many people. And there's one more option. When I looked at this 32 years ago, I was not looking at leaving my police career. I really thought that that's where I needed to be or where I wanted to be until these products got into me. And then I realized after working shift work that I wanted more. I wanted to have an impact. I wanted to help others. And if you or you know somebody that really enjoys helping others and impacting people's lives, there's a great income opportunity as well that comes alongside of this. And just ask the person who invited you, if you want to know more, we'd be more than happy to share a little bit about how the business and how this income, extra cash, if you're looking for a side gig, can really impact your life. So again, if you're just joining us tonight to look at the products to improve your health and strengthen your immune system, live a longer, healthier life, just ask us. If you're considering a little bit about the income opportunity, just reach out to us. And if you'd like to learn more, every Thursday we do a similar presentation, but we zero in on a specific topic. And we always open up to questions and answers as well. So that's what I'm going to do now. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Maryellen, for your expertise. And I'm going to stop the recording and open it up to any questions that you may have. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight.